Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support I have had on my channel within the last year or so. I know my channel is still not that big, it isn't even past 3-digit sub count, but I just want to say thank you for all those who have subscribed, have liked, hell, even just viewed and left a comment, and actually had conversations with me. All of it means the world to me right now, because just looking back at my channel about a year ago, sure, I had 1 or 2 videos that did go viral, at least for me, and maybe gotten tens of thousands of views, but most of my videos might not even have tens of views. But looking back at what I have now, even if they don't get 100 views, some of them getting mostly 40 or 50, that's still a big step up to me, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me so far. But with that, getting into this week in Destiny, there is topics of the tuning recap, more on that later. Building Arsenal shorts, enhanced perk updates, Memento changes, reduced fragment cost at Ikora for the final shape, boss profile for the Pantheon, that's going to be Rolk, as well as 0 Hour Metoro, whatever that is, and Content Vault, which I am eager to learn about what else they're doing here. But going into the tuning recap, now, I won't lie, well, actually they don't do it either, but there is a tuning blog that I have my own video for covering the basic details of it on top of everything else, so if you would like to check out my video or view the tuning blog itself, there is a link there. And then for the Arsenal, they talk about some stuff going on for YouTube. Of course, they did give a teaser on the Microcosm Heavy Exotic Trace Rifle, which right off the bat, 2 things. It looks like it is going to be a element changer, because in the trailer, I know I'm not going to show it just because I don't have the audio configured, but in the trailer I see some things die to void effects and other things die to strand effects, which makes me think it does have a sort of element changer. However, its main perk is that it does heavy damage against shields, and I have a feeling that when they made this, they forgot about Arbalest, because Arbalest has already been a deal heavy damage to shield, and it's also not an exotic in the heavy slot, so it's already looking like this is going to be possibly mid. Although I say looking like it, of course, we haven't tried anything. Moving on as well, there is the Kvastov, which makes it so every 7th shot will ricochet between teammates. That one sounds nifty, but of course Kvastov was just a basic auto rifle, so anything extra than that is already more nifty. And they also gave us previews of the exotic armors. Mateodoxia makes it so that you can suspend on Arcane Needle on 3rd Arcane Needles, judging from the visual. This looks quite bad. Gifted Conviction, which is basically arc aspects equal explosive flux grenade bouncing, which most of the others I would not be so excited for, but thinking combination blow is an aspect, oh boy, it's looking spicy. And from there as well, there is Hazardous Propulsion, which is basically do a class ability, including thruster, and you launch 6 rockets at your enemies. They don't look like they're very high-powered rockets, but damage is damage. Then getting into enhancement in the final shape. Now, just as a run-through, during the Lightfall year, players have gotten a taste of weapon enhancement with Raid Adept weapons from Rooted Nightmares and Crota's End. The final shape, you'll see that the system has undergone some upgrades, making enhancing your weapons easier and allowing us to comfortably expand the system to include more weapons. Here's a quick recap of how weapon enhancement will work alongside some of the changes. So weapon enhancement allows the weapon to be upgraded and receive enhanced status, weapon level, and a memento socket. To upgrade your weapon, players can navigate to the inspection screen and insert the enhancement tier mod. For standard currencies, aka Raid Adept weapons, will continue to use spoils. So showing here, you can enhance Luna's Howl into enhancement through enhancement cores, which by the way, if you forgot, yes, the Brave Arsenal will be enhanceable come final shape. Now, Enhancement Tier 1, it replaces your Masterwork and provides the weapon with an enhanced intrinsic that matches the stat of your old Masterwork, provides a weapon level and a date from when you first enhanced the weapon, and adds a memento socket. For Raid Adepts only, these weapons have a base crafted version. We want the Adept version to feel like a meaningful upgrade, therefore these weapons can visit the Relic on Mars and adjust their first 2 columns, typically just the barrels and mags, in a similar fashion to how crafted weapons can augment these column perks. At Tier 2, required 11 levels. Once the player inserts this mod, the left column trait will automatically be upgraded to their enhanced perks. If you have multiple perks, this will update all traits in said column. Players will not need to revisit the Relic on Mars to update these traits anymore. At Tier 3, at level 17, once they apply the mod, the right column trait will get the same. Like the left column, it'll upgrade anything in the list. So just to give it a rundown, of course, once you do it, you'll be able to change the barrels and magazines you see right here. But then once you get to a level 11, both of these perks will get upgraded to double enhanced, and both of these perks will get to double enhanced at level 17. But I believe that's the end of that. So Yeah, that's the limit of the expansion. I've heard the feedback that weapons should be have more avenues to acquire enhanced traits. In the final shape, all new weapons will either be craftable or have access to weapon enhancement. In addition, weapons that remain active, drops, and following activities will be eligible for crafted. So, Vow of the Disciple Raid Adepts, Guardian Games weapons, King's Fall Raid Adepts, Gambit, Competitive Crucible, parentheses all of them, Trials, Crucible, Iron Banner, Vanguard Ops, Nightfalls, and the Prophecy Dungeon, but just the dungeon. Some of these things are not like the other. But moving on, this will include older instances of these weapons, as long as they have an origin trait. Unfortunately, due to some technical constraints, there will be a handful of weapon instances from before Season 17 that have origin traits and are active drops, but will not be eligible for weapon enhancement. If a weapon is not actively dropping in these activities or playlists, it's under the Legacy focusing options. It will not be enhanceable when the final shape releases. If final shapes or weapons are reissued and become a part of a playlist, active drops, and once again, update older versions to have origin traits and enter enhancement. So, it does sound like they're, of course, branching out on how we can spec out, because it was definitely annoying. The only thing that could be double enhanced was Raid Adepts and craftable weapons, so expanding that to a variety of other just generic places that almost everyone has access to is actually a good move. Then Mementos. Let's see. The feedback on weapon Mementos, especially new Mementos, have been released in our seasonal events. In the final shape, we have a few changes to impact how you store Mementos. Oh, please. Crafting and enhanced weapons will no longer need to visit the relic on Mars to apply mementos. Yay! Players can apply their memento of their choosing directly on the weapon inspect. Memento stack cap limits will be raised from 1 to 3. Mementos will no longer be needed to store alongside players' consumables. Yes! When the final shape launches, your mementos under consumables will show as faded. Then once the faded memento is dismantled, you'll see +1 added to the weapon inspection screen as virtual currency. For players who figure out how to get around the original memento stack size limits, this will allow you to dismantle all of those mementos safely, even if you go temporarily over the intended stack limit of 3. If you're holding 3 or more of a particular memento, it will not drop again until you spend your mementos under the stack limit of 3. Storage for mementos. Hallelujah. Reducing fragment costs at Ikora. Basically, subclass fragments purchasable from Ikora are expensive, particularly considering how many there are, especially for new lights. In the final shape, we have reduced the cost of fragments from 25k glimmer to just 10k. Our goal here is to make these vital build crafting elements more accessible to new and returning players. So from that, more Pantheon. Of course, Rolk has been added. If you don't know how he has been adjusted during the damage phase, or at least the pre-damage phase, Rolk has an immune mimic that will literally just be another Rolk. So, if you don't know, there is that. Then 0 Hour. If you don't know as well, that is live. You can deal with Trevor and earn a craftable version of Outbreak Perfected, which I think I mentioned before, but it is just seemingly going to be god tier considering all of the perks that they have options are possibly better or just an alternate playstyle. Like replacing Outlaw with Headseeker, perfect with the PvP crowd. Redrawing rounds for the PvE words. But you know what I'm saying. Then there is a Metora webcomic featurette. Let's see the detail of their first journey in Destiny 2. Okay, so I guess this is somebody making art out of them playing Destiny 2. Well, this is just plain cute. But, you know, it's also comics, and good lord, there is a lot of them. Moving forward. There we go. So, for the support update, the Vault, the dreaded word. With the start of Year 7 of Destiny 2 on June 4th, certain items will be deprecated from player inventories that correspond with vaulted activities and seasonal campaigns, and of course moved into the Content Vault. We have updated our Content Vault article to reflect these changes and created a new article fully outlining items being deprecated at the start of Year 7 for players to reference. Now let's actually take a look at that real quick. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, this was a thing. Bounties, quests, engrams, seasonal heirlooms, and artifacts from Season of Defiance, Deep, Witch, and Wish, and Into the Light. Ritual and pinnacle weapons, and ornaments from Tower Vendors. This gear will become available in the Monument of the Lost Lights. Shards, Vanguard and Crucible bounties. Those will be replaced with new Ritual Pathfinder reward system, as well as mementos. This will become a one-time consumable. Basically, what I just said earlier, they'll become a broken thing that you can just dismantle and gain. Then as well, the spec mods, as well as all of the variety of keys and alloys. Wait, resonant alloy? Oh yeah, I forgot they're actually changing that. So lots of stuff. Basically, you know how it works. I'm not gonna baby you and explain how everything is. Basically, anything that had to do with anything seasonal from this year, gone. Mementos, gone but dismantleable. No more shards, no more Vanguard, Crucible, or Gambit bounties, as well as just general, all of the stuff having to do with prior seasons. But, of course, we're not losing any activity. Well, no, I think we'll be losing activities from this year, but at the same time, we're not going to be losing anything big. We'll still keep the dungeons, exotic missions, and everything like that, but the seasonal activities will probably leave us. Getting back into This Week in Destiny, parental controls. If you don't know, basically, they added They added date of birth for people that are monitoring their child playing Destiny 2. If you don't know about that, there you go for the parents out there that don't want their kids playing this game. Then, known issues. Capturing a zone in the collision PvP game mode while having full super energy will slightly reduce said energy. Oh no. Tormentors can push turrets away in Onslaught with their ground, slam, or grab attacks. The Zero Death Triumph only unlocks when completing 0 hour on Legend difficulty, which should unlock on both normal and Legend. So there you go. As usual, full issue article and report anything to help form if you got it. And from there, that's a lot of ghost shells. And then as well, more movies of the week. So that is the summary of This Week in Destiny. There isn't a lot of drastic news. I think, honestly, there is some good news here. Seeing more double enhancements, of course, expansions to Memento, and the updated content vault, which is basically getting rid of all of the Season of the Witch crap that I have 99 stacks of something that I can't get rid of. But with that, that is the end of This Week in Destiny. So I will leave a teaser here for the next video coming up. I know it will probably be up by the time somebody's watching this. However, I will have a video covering how the recent exotic reveals, there is a few that look nifty, but most of them look quite not good. With that, I will see you in the next video.